Hamster wheel and into balanced living with Dr. Marissa.
Promise you joy in the mystery.
Dr. Marissa, also known as the Asian Oprah. Her mission, to be a beneficial presence on the planet. Her purpose, to be your personal advocate to live, laugh, love, learn. Her life motto, don't die wondering. Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pay.
And good, there he is. Good morning, everybody. You're tuned into Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get Balance with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on KCAA, home to the Asian Oprah, NBC News Radio, CNBC News, and NBC Sports, AM 1050. FM 106.5 and streaming everywhere. iHeartRadio, Spotify, Stitcher, iTunes, TuneIn, Audible, Tiki Live, GeoSun, Podchaser, Rumble, and more. Why? So many places. I think there's like 28 more platforms because I want to maximize my splatter zone for more hope and happiness. Therefore, I want you to be able to tune in as many different ways as you can. Plus, you can now stream live, and I see the eyeballs rolling in, and people are already giving us fingers, thumbs up, on Facebook, LinkedIn, and then Dr. Marissa Central, my YouTube channel. Free subscribe there, and you'll get an alert at every 8 a.m. in the weekday, during the week, to start your day with a show about hope and happiness. So there's no gossip, no scandal, no K words, no Kardashian talk, no Kanye talk at all, because I want you to focus on your own reality show. And that's why I have topics and guests and series co-hosts for that purpose. And you can see the hoodie guy. You know, I saw the hoodie the other day and I went, well, he kind of looks like a monk with that thing on, but a monk you do with it. Yeah, you have to get that angle right. But yes, it is Thursday. You always know it's Thursday because you'll see Sam in my studio. He is my co-host for one of my popular series called Straight Talk with Dr. Marissa and
Sam Works.
And you're not super loud, so I'll let you adjust that one because I don't want to be louder than you. But I'm so delighted that he's back with me for yet another week. So welcome back to the studio, Sam Works. He is, let's see, he's a sound engineer. He's my first started my sound engineer. He does real estate. He does financial help. He's let's see, he's a good son, and I love his mom. I get to see his mom every once in a while. When he steals the Asian Oprah giveaway tickets, that's what happens. And when I get to go live with him, the last couple of weeks I had work with my new client out in Chino, and that's why I got to come to studio. But today I am at my home office because I'll tell you why during our breakfast with Dr. Marissa and Sam Works, but let me welcome him back to the studio. Thanks for being here again, Sam, for my 866th show, 560th consecutive week on the air. We're rolling up this year on 10 years, so we'll have a big party for that. But let's start with breakfast. What do you want to have for breakfast, Sam? You want to take a bite of me? I mean, do you want to take a bite of my gratitude sandwich?
Sure, I'll take first bite. The first thing that I'm grateful for is, still being here and with all the things I've done in my life.
In his 23 long years.
I know. Let me tell you, I lived a long 23, a good 23. So I'm glad that I'm safe and sound and, still healthy. So
that in spite of all the things that you've done, you were going to say something and I cut you off. Sorry.
Oh, I'm still here. I'm safe. I'm glad I'm safe still. Yes.
If you want to play along, we're doing our 8 specific gratitudes first thing in the morning because There's so many ways in which you can be distracted into bad news. And if it bleeds, it leads, and all the horrible things that are happening, not that they're not important, but if you start your day that way, it's just going to go downhill. So we always want to start you on the most positive track with gratitudes. I am grateful that my surgery for my eyes, I found out I have a special, of course I'm special, not a normal cataract growing in my eyes. I have PSC, posterior subcapsular cataracts, which means it's getting cloudy in the front and the back of the lens. So I've lost 65% of my vision in less than a year. So instead of waiting till May for surgery, they emergency moved me up till today. So I have surgery tonight at 5:30, and I know that everything's going to be good. But I'm grateful for my fabulous surgeon, eye doctor, Dr. Ravi, and for all the wonderful anesthesiologists and nurses and blood takers, not blood suckers, blood takers at the Memorial Surgical Center that are going to be fabulous for me today. And everything's going to go smoothly. And I'm going to wake up tomorrow morning saying, wow, I can see out of my right eye again.
So it's just the one eye?
Just one eye. They can't do two at the same time. So it's standard to do one eye. So this is the worst one. It went from -1 to a -7.5 in 10 months. So anybody who wears glasses or contacts understands that's like a giant. -4 is legally blind without correction, just to give you a framework. So I'm almost twice legally blind without correction in this eye right now. And this one went from a -1 to a -6, I think now. So yeah, I do everything fast.
Everything?
Pardon?
Everything?
Just about, yeah, everything, if you want to go there. Well, I don't know about that. It's been so long. I think I hit reset. You know, they say that if you haven't had sex for how many years, you start over as a virgin. Have you heard that? Yes, if you've just tuned in, more eyeballs are rolling in, and I just want to set the record straight that this is Straight Talk with Dr. Marissa and
Simworks.
And it's a special series where I get to be naughty and I get to say pretty much everything except the words that we're not allowed to use because it is an FCC ruled show and station. Wonderful NBC News. So, but why am I talking about sex, romance, relationships with Sam? Because it is a very important area that will affect your happiness. And this is a show about hope and happiness. So that's why we're talking about it. And today we are talking about exes. So if you know anyone who's divorced or you yourself are divorced, you're going to want to tune in and chime in for this very fun conversation. And he's moving into the studio room, or I think he is. Oh, no, you're going to go to your car. I see your keys.
Yeah, because my phone is only at like 8%. I don't want to.
Oh, you're getting your charger. Good idea, Sam.
Yeah, my computer. Yeah.
So we're walking with Sam. We're also doing our gratitude sandwich. Those of you who want to take a bite with us, please put it in the chat. What are you grateful for this morning? Sam, it's your turn.
Man, the beautiful sun. It feels good out here. I'm more of a sun type of guy. I mean, I like it when it's cloudy, but when the sun touches my skin, it feels amazing.
And what else touches your? Never mind.
I'm a virgin. Stop it. I'm just kidding.
What?
I said I'm a virgin. So my reset button has been.
You are not. You know what happens when you usually cough. Starts with a B. Let's see. I'm grateful that we have technology that we can actually take a walk with Sam and I can broadcast remotely.
Yes, that's a good one. Another thing that I'm grateful for is being able to be independent and not live with my mom as much as I love, being with my mom. I think it's self-soothing to know that you can make it out here in California.
Fantastic. I'm grateful that my daughters are self-sufficient, living in San Francisco on their own, and for years now. And that. Okay, go ahead. That was one.
Oh, okay.
One more.
Let's make it a good one. You know, honestly, I'm grateful to be on the show, Dr. Marissa. It's fun. It gets me going in the morning, and I hope we maybe not educate people, but open their minds to maybe what they're looking for. You know.
Yep. I'm grateful that I've had a plethora of fabulous stops on this thing called the joyride of my life. And certainly this show is a big stop. And this special series is a lot of fun as well. That's the 8 gratitudes, the top of the bun. That's what you're having for breakfast, gratitude sandwich. We're going to move to the bottom of the bun. And you're going to switch positions. If you were on top, you're going to the bottom. And the bottom position is, what do you appreciate about yourself? We do this because if you can't forking approve of yourself, how the fork do you expect other people to forking approve of yourself? It's a common thing these days that we are looking all the time. Who likes me? Who likes me? Literally with social media. And we have lost the ability to say, we did good. We're always going, did I do good? Did I do good? So bottom of the button is to train us and educate us and to encourage us to soothe ourselves, bake our own cake. That's a tool from my book, 8 Ways to Happiness, from wherever you are. If you haven't gotten a copy, I will give the first person that goes to drmarissa.life and says, Sam, in the subject line, and you'll get a free copy of the audio book that is number 1 on Amazon, number 4 on Denver Post, making me a national bestseller. But the most important thing is not that it's a bestseller. The most important thing is it is helping people find their own happiness by doing the exercises in there. And one of them is baking your own cake. So that's a mini bake your own cake we're doing right now. What do you like about yourself? What do you appreciate about yourself? So I'll start as Sam continues to unblur himself. For some reason, there's a little bit of a blur. I appreciate that I can stall like the best of us. No, I appreciate that I love to orate. I didn't say oral, orate, which is speak. And I love my motivational speaking. I love my facilitation. I love doing strategic planning. I love doing the show, and I love coaching. And it's all about being open to the inspiration. I always say, speak through me, speak through me. Don't let me get in the way. Let the words be thine and the voice be mine. That's 2 things. Go ahead. You get 2 too.
Okay. 2 things that I appreciate myself is even though I try to stay focused and disciplined, I still go out there and have fun with my friends. I still take the time to meet the people that, mean a lot to me, even though we haven't seen each other in a while. Another thing that I appreciate about myself is the everyday learning. Every day I try to, read a book, do something new, something that probably scares me, like door knocking or cold calling. No one likes doing that, but you go out there and you face your fears, and I think that's one of the best things you can do.
Cool. I appreciate that I am not afraid most of the time. When the gunman shot all those people in Monterey Park, and the next day I was supposed to I did. I got honored as a VIP on stage for the Lunar New Year event that was put on by Santa Anita Racetrack and the Diamond 100 Racing Club. I was a big advocate for not canceling, for continuing. because I am not going to let the possibility, worst case scenario of me getting shot, I'm not going to let that fear or worst case scenario thinking take away from my life. Yeah.
That's pretty strong. Another thing that I appreciate about myself is I don't have a hot temper. I keep my cool for the majority of the time, 88% of the time.
Good one. My last appreciation is that I know how to motivate myself. That's a new one.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, thank you. I know how to, up and at 'em, don't think, just do. Gospel according to Nike, just do it. And then when it's done, good job, mama. I say that quite a bit. Yeah. Last one, go ahead.
Last one. Self-improvement. Basically my whole life, I've always sacrificed my time and my effort for others. But now it's kind of switching up to myself, because as I get older, I realize it's just me at the end of the day. So I got to work on me a little more.
Great. That is it for Breakfast with Dr. Marissa and
Sam Works
here on Straight Talk. And take my advice, I'm not using it. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on KZAA, NBC News Radio, AM 1050, FM 106.5, and streaming everywhere. And today's top. Oh, wait. That's my favorite button. If you want to push my buttons, that's a good one to push. All right. I'm on a roll, huh? I am going to let Sam introduce the topic for today. What are we talking about when it comes to getting more happiness out of our relationships and communication, Sam?
Well, speaking of communications and relationships, we're going to be talking about our exes. No, I'm just kidding. No, I think no, it's important because, just like therapy, you talk about your past, see how you are built and molded, because everything that you do and you have done in your life, whether it's in a relationship or even like the lifestyle you live, it affects you to present time. So, Dr. Marissa, I'm sure she had a few, dates and boyfriends and relationships. I've had a few relationships, girlfriends, and all that. And if you're with somebody, they want to know how you function, how you work, or why you act this way. And it's important to, talk to your other half about your past. But maybe not in too much detail. I have been told that before. They're like, hey, you talk a little more than I should know. But there is a fine line to that. But I do think it is important to talk about your relationships.
So you've gotten the TMI for your relationships. Not too much. I rarely go on a second date if a guy on the first date goes into there's an imaginary line. If I say, let's spend 2 minutes talking about priors, how many times you've been married, how many kids, and pretty much that's it. Like, we don't go into detail, but it's very difficult to bring up your ex without the standard story behind the ex. So when we're doing relationship coaching, or some of my clients are, ready to date again, and we talk about, the best way to get back out into the zone, the war zone, no, I'm kidding, the relationship building zone, or starting the new chapter in your book of romance. That is one of those rules. I've had experts on the show on dating as well, and they say just stay away from the topic of exes. But it's kind of hard. It is one of those defining things. And I guess for me, less is more on the first date, right? And then well, I don't know if it's because of what I do as a coach. I'm a psychologist, and I don't want my relationship to be another extension of my work. Am I keeping you up?
Yes, you are.
Good. I like keeping guys up. But I am on a roll. I don't know what it is. So let's set the stage first. You've never been married, right?
No, I've never been married.
You're so funny. Nice pregnant pause there. Very nice, very nice. I have had one prior. Those of you who know me at all or have been listening for any amount of time know that I have a wasband, that I'm very happily divorced. Let me say very again. I'm very happily divorced. And I do talk about my wasband quite a bit because it is an entire chapter in my book. It is the From Hatred to Forgiveness, because I do not have regrets about that marriage. I do not blame him most of the time, 88% of the time, for anything that happened that was not fabulous, because it was a relationship that needed to happen. I wouldn't have my daughters without him, and he helped me grow. He was that piece of grain of sand in my oyster shell that irritated me enough to create a pearl or two or three. And that's how I see the role of exes. That's what exes are for. You either are with someone for the rest of your life or a long, long time, or they teach you, sometimes through irritation, what you need to learn about yourself. So that's how I choose to talk about my exes. And now, that's already that second half of the show when I talk about solution. I'm getting ahead of myself, because usually first half we want to talk about the reality. But just know that for me, that is the way that I talk about my ex. Let's talk about the way I used to talk about my ex. So if you are newly divorced, or going through separation, or in a relationship where you're not happy 80% of the time, the tendency is to, what's the word? Throw shade. My daughter taught me that. Throw shade on your ex or soon to be ex, to blame your ex, soon to be ex, to point out all the things and reasons why you should leave them or why you left them, defending why you left them. And that's a normal tendency, right? But one, you're probably not going to get a second date with people if you do that in the first date. And when you point a finger at someone, there's three pointed back at you. So I was given a really good piece of advice early on in the divorce. And they said, bite your tongue every single time you want to tell your kids why you're leaving their dad, to defend the reason of why you're leaving your dad, or why the divorce is happening, or why you can't stay, or why. All of that was the wisest thing possible, because no matter how horrible your ex is or horrible that person is, to have your children say when they're growing up, Mom, I really appreciate, once they experience the same thing from their dad in their own way, I really appreciate how you did not, throw them under the bus, And I was not perfect in that. I did throw him under the bus, but not more than 20% of the time. 80% of the time, I was good. Sometimes, when he put glue on my car and put signs up all over Seal Beach saying Asian woman seeking Asian or Caucasian woman, and there was a whole rumor that I turned gay and looking for, I had naked women on my website, that I got a little pissed off at. And when he picked up the kids, put the ad on his window so I would know that it was him. And then when I called to talk to the kids, on his outgoing voicemail, he would say, if you're looking for an Asian woman, press 1. If you're looking for a Caucasian woman, press 2. So yeah, I was pissed. Yeah, I said things. Yeah, I overtold my kids at the time. Yeah, I lashed out. I talked to too many people about that. Same thing when he had the affair. So I own that, and my wish for anyone who is in the throes of that, just take a breath, bite your tongue. I didn't have a tongue those days. I bit it so hard. And take a walk, and just, this too shall pass. This too shall pass. This too shall pass. Because it's so important not to go down the road, not just for your kids, for yourself. It's so easy to lose yourself in all of that hurt and blame and shame. So that's my solution. I know I'm skipping ahead again, but I wanted to address that, and thank you for the hearts. I got a lot of support on that one, and a couple more people giving me fingers, thumbs up, thanks on that little talk. So that's from the heart, and I did want to just share that with you, Sam.
How long were you guys dating before you guys got married?
My sentence was 9.2 years of marriage, and the dating was, let's see, I broke up with him the first time after 9 months of dating and said, you need help, you need therapy, you're not happy. So, I just, I need you to do some work. And that was a healthy thing I did for myself. But then the not healthy thing is a friend, he called the next week and said, okay, I'm having my first session on Saturday, so let's have dinner. And I said, no, you're going to have to go for a while. And then, so I think there was like 3 months of no contact. And then a mutual friend of ours, close friend, loved him. He died suddenly of a heart attack. And it took me down to a place of hurt and loneliness, and I reached out to him. He came over. The rest is history. I then tried to break up with him 5 more times, and I'm grateful they had an affair, because it was a final thing that I could finally say, he does not want to be here. Because for 4 other times I would say to him, if you don't love me, if you don't want to be married, just tell me and it's okay, right? Let's not torture ourselves here. And he would never say no. He wouldn't say, you're right, I don't want to be married. He would say nothing. He wouldn't say, I want to be married. He wouldn't say, I do love you. He just would say nothing. And because I was a damaged child, had not worked out my own childhood trauma that I grew up with, I didn't know how to care about myself and to see that this was not for me. I was used to this kind of treatment. I was used to be told that I was undesirable, unworthy, unneeded, not attractive. And so it was a horrible, comfortable place to be, which is very common with kids who have had childhood trauma. 7 out of 10 of us, 8 out of 10, if you agree with my honorable moniker, Oprah. So to take responsibility for that, Someone said to me, when did you know that he was emotionally unavailable? Like you're asking, right? I
Right.
know it's the comment behind the question. And I said, oh, way before, before you were married? Yes. While you were dating? Yes. So then that person said, if you knew that early, then who's really emotionally unavailable?
Ooh.
And I went, ooh, exactly. I knew and I stayed. I knew and I still tried to make it work. Again, this is a common thing that happens. If you've had childhood trauma, most likely, if you haven't done the work, you're with an ex or two or three or four who continue to treat you badly because you haven't done the worthiness work. And so you continue to attract people who do not respect you. And that's on you, boo. Sorry, tough love here. Anytime you have a pattern of more than one person treating you badly, most likely it's because you are attracting a person that treats you exactly the way you feel about yourself. Deep down, that's why it's so important for me to do the healing work and self-care work for everyone I come across. That's why I do the show. That's why I have the book. That's why I do the motivational speaking. That's my mission. 88 million more happy people in the next 8 years. And the buck stops right over here.
It's pretty good. I like what you have to say. I have yet to experience a horrible relationship. I've had a few relationships in my past, but they've all been like learning lessons, and a lot of them, one of them really brought up my inner, I don't even want to say like my fruity side, like I used to just wear dark clothes. And then when I was dating her, like I would wear yellow, or I would listen to she liked Disney, so I listened to like Disney music or like Christmas music. She made it very festive in my life, she kind of brightened me up. And then the other one following that, she was like, I need a man, I need someone who can fix my car, who speaks for me, who does this, who does that. So it was a total switch. And but that kind of balanced me out to where I wasn't too harsh on relationships and myself, and at the same time not so easygoing, and I had one who was super lazy and then one was like super tight in terms of like
Tight?
in terms of like, don't get on my bed because you've been in your day clothes, like you need to take a shower or like brush your teeth or something. But honestly, those are the ones I like because it betters myself, like when you come home, like you wash your hands, or before you go to sleep, you clean your phone, things like that. Like I honestly, not that it bugs me, but it's like, it's just more work, like I just want to lay in bed and just like relax. But then having someone there to like put you on, it's a blessing and a curse,
Yeah.
So
I want to just say hello to my Instagram peeps, Spirit Awakening Joy and Be Grace, according to Shauna. Welcome to Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show. And it is a special series day. Every Thursday, I get to have this cute guy in my studio. And he is my co-host for this special series called Straight Talk with Dr. Marissa and
Sam Works.
And the topic today, if you want to chime in, is about exes. And exes is certainly a topic or a phenomena that either can make us extremely happy or unhappy. And that's why we're talking about it. How do you see your ex? How do you talk about your ex? Should you talk about your ex? What is the role of an ex? Do you want to roll over your ex? So that's what we're talking about today. So if you have any questions or comments for us, it is Dr. Marissa. Dr. Marissa YouTube channel. We're live streaming right now, and we can put your comments up and or Facebook or my LinkedIn. So Sam,
I have a question for you.
oh, okay. I was going to formulate one for you, but go ahead.
How has your exes molded you in terms of like maybe psychologically or even physically? Because I know your husband told you, you know, you're obese, even though there wasn't a day that you were, but that probably helped you start swimming and be more active, right? Or was that just like a self-reflection? Or like, how did your ex change you?
My ex deepened my own self-loathing that started when I was a kid. It affirmed every single message of unworthiness that I grew up with a mom who was well-meaning, but was more mean than well, but did the best that she could because she also was raised with a critical, angry parent. So I chose a man who would give me that same feeling of that I was fat, that I was ugly, and that I was clumsy, and that I was not attractive enough to elicit or warrant sexual relations with him. He withheld intimacy because he knew that was the one thing I wanted, and that further fed the critical voice that said, you're ugly, you're not a good enough looking. He was very good looking, by the way. I chose with my eyes. I was always attracted to men who are very good looking. Partially because it validated, I have to be somewhat good looking to attract someone like that. And also it was always skin deep, right? It was always about the look. I still have that. I try not to act on that, but it is deeply ingrained. Now, if you are saying that, if you're intimating that my recent Love My Body Project 2.0, losing 34 pounds since last Valentine's, if it had anything to do with him calling me fat, ugly, and clumsy, the answer is no, because I cannot, all the times that I lost weight because of that voice that told me, the first time was when I was 14-ish. So I was a thin child. 7, 8, 9, I began to internalize my mom's well-meaning, don't eat that, you're going to get fat. Don't drink that, you're going to get fat. You're going to be 200 pounds. I began to self-fulfilling prophecy, gain weight. So by the time I was 13, 14, I was on the doctor's charts, obese, definitely overweight, really thick glasses. And I validated what my mom said, what she, you're fat, ugly, and clumsy. And then because I wanted to prove her wrong, I starved myself and lost 40 pounds and started modeling by the time I was 17. Okay. That was done because of what she said. And that didn't last. And it was an unhealthy way to do it. Right. Then when I married my husband, I began to gain weight, partially because you have 2 kids, right? And also because that voice in my head was saying the same thing. And to protect yourself, they say that, if you're wounded, you'll eat, and self-fulfilling prophecy become isolate yourself for your size. And then I gained it back again, right? So I lost that. So then by the time I got divorced, I call it the divorce diet. I lost another 40 pounds. So I've gained and lost probably 1,000 pounds in my lifetime. The reason why this last time I believe that I've been able to lose the weight and keep it off for this year is because I'm not doing it based on the voices in my head saying you're fat. I've got nothing to prove to anyone criticizing me. It's not his voice. It is my own self-love. And, there's been a lot of diet coaches on my show. Marissa Peer, who really helped me understand how to say nice things to myself and not restrict myself, but say nice things to myself about my body. But the number one help has been through Abraham Hicks, Law of Attraction. I listened to this meditation in the morning this rampage called I Love My Body, as it is, where it is. And that has fundamentally helped me understand this has nothing to do about my husband calling me obese. It has nothing to do with my mom saying you're fat, ugly, and clumsy. This has everything to do about me loving myself enough to know that I like not carrying around 34 extra pounds. I like being able to fit in clothes. And I saved this outfit actually for you because it's leather. No, it's not. It's fake.
Yeah.
But I wanted to wear it for Straight Talk because, it makes me feel a little sexy, right? So that's, I know what I want to feel like when it comes to my body. So I'm trying to do everything I can for me to feel that way by doing the inspired actions that leads to me feeling this way.
What's your secret?
Self-love. If you love yourself enough to give your body, my hips don't lie. I've had 2 hip replacements. If I put more weight on again, it will speed up the need for having more hips again. Right? Yeah. So it's a health thing. It is a look thing too. Every time I put something on and it doesn't, it's not tight, it feels good. When I put something on that's too tight, it doesn't feel good. People now know I wear flowy stuff because I don't like the feeling of that tightness because I don't want to look like I'm bulging.
Even in the thighs? I mean, that's a lot of people like girls in, tight pants. Just saying.
I rarely wear pants.
Well, good for
If
you.
you've noticed. Yeah. Yeah. Now let's get real for a second. Put the moose on the table. Am I healed when it comes to body image? Am I healed when it comes to how I see myself in the mirror? Am I healed past all of those ext messages? My husband's criticisms? No. Do I still have a critic in my head that goes, man, you let yourself go? Or man, you still have a ways to go? Or man, you should be embarrassed because you don't look like you used to. You shouldn't be showing your modeling pictures because you do not look like that anymore. So do I still have that? Absolutely. Do I have it 80% of the time? No. Less than 20. I'm working on less than 12. Thank you for that heart. I saw that. All right, I'm going to talk about you've made me dominate this conversation because you keep asking me questions. So Sam, have any of your exes ever heard you talk about them on the show? Because you have talked about your exes quite openly on the show. Have you ever had that happen, and what was the result?
No result because I haven't talked to any of my exes in a while. My last one said, if we break up, Like, that's it. Don't talk to me. Block me on social media. Everything just gone. And maybe because she doesn't want that lingering emotions, in her life. So I respect that. I understand that.
Mm-hmm.
And the ex prior to that, we just stopped talking. Once, she has a boyfriend and everything, so I don't want to, get in the middle, and she doesn't want to get in the middle either. So if they are listening, well, I have nothing bad to say, but it is all, really. One second, I got a phone call. I'm still
Okay,
working on answer this.
sure. I was just saying hi to my Instagram people. Doc Balance is where you can go to stream live in my. Oh, there we go. Adela, welcome to the show. We're talking about exes, and we're talking about all aspect of exes. Just sort of, this is the first time we're talking about this particular topic. So if you have any comments that you want to add, I would say that the sooner you can, I don't know, when people say, "Oh, I'm best friends with my ex," I can't necessarily go there. But if you have lingering hatred or resentment or bitterness for your ex, I would say no matter what they've done, no matter what they've said, no matter what they continue to do, this is my solution or Happy 88 tool for anyone who has a relationship that they are in a bad place about. And we covered this. If you missed Monday's life balance coaching session, I've been starting to give free happiness coaching on my shows on Mondays. So if you want to be part of that, go to drmarissa.life and say free coaching on the air, and we'll get you on the show for Mondays. But whenever you hate someone, the opposite of hate is not love. So I'm not asking people to love their exes. That's like too much of a stretch. The opposite of hate is indifference. So if you can think about your ex in a way that is neither here nor there, neither really great or really bad, and it's just like, I bless you. Thank you for the lessons I got from you. I wish you well. I will always have a modicum of goodwill towards him because he is the father of my daughters. And as much as there's a lot of white water under my bridge, I know that for them, it's important that I have that goodwill, but most important, and please, please, please take this with you. It is most important for you. And I think we did an intervention like this for you on one of the shows, Sam, where you had some ambivalent feelings about one of your exes. And we went through the process. The most important thing for you is an okay relationship with your ex because of what it is doing to you. It has nothing to do with them. Because if you're in a world of hate, if you're in a world of resentment, if you're in a world of regret, if you're in a world of bitterness, if you're in a world of sadness or depression, when you think about your ex, the only person that you are hurting is yourself. Mm-hmm. You are affecting your immune system physically because you are releasing toxic chemicals in your body. You are hurting your intelligence because every 6 seconds that you're in anger, resentment, volatility, you lose IQ points. You can't make decisions. You are impacting and spewing red ink into your future possibilities for any other love relationship. That's Abraham Hicks. So in so many ways, if you don't have an okay relationship or an indifferent relationship with your ex, you are hurting one person and one person alone, and that is yourself. And I don't want you to hurt yourself. You're too important for that. We got things to do. We got people to love. We've got things to create and invent. We have hands to hold. We have things to broadcast. We have things to film, to laugh at. We have so much to do that we can't if we're in a world of hate. That's my final word.
Well, let me tell you, Dr. Marissa, that one time where you gave me that talk about my ex and to move on and stuff, it's been a while since it's been a while since she like popped into my head, like I accepted the fact that if I don't move on, then I'm screwed, and it made me feel a lot better, especially with the person that I've been talking to and been hanging with. There ain't no one better that I've met so far, and it's like that has really changed my view on everything when it comes to relationships and stuff. So there's no second place, when it comes to like who I want in life and stuff like that. And it feels good to know that once you accept the fact that you're moving on, like truly accept the fact to move on, your life tends to be a lot easier. So,
yep, you cannot swim. If you picture a relationship and you're on this side of the pool and you're always looking that way, you can't swim to the other side. You literally have to turn around and go through the next door. So good for you, Sam. I'm so glad. Thanks again. I think you got another heart. So we are about to finish. This is Straight Talk with Dr. Marissa and Sam Works. A couple of things. The sponsor of this show, Saban Theater, and I got a request on my drmarissa.life to another new potential sponsor. So if you would like to advertise here on my show, please do. I'm going to highlight one of my sponsors right now, Saban Theater ticket giveaway, Herman and the Hermits. Peter Noon for this Friday. I still have tickets left. Go to drmarissa.life and put in Herman or Hermits and I'll get you that set of tickets. We still have, I think, like 50 pairs of tickets. So it's a big concert at the Saban Theater this Friday. And don't forget, on February 2nd next week, I will be on Game Show Network on a show called Switch. It's on at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern. So please do go there. I just got confirmation I'm having the Waltons on my show this next coming month. And that'll be fun for those of you who are ageless like I am. You'll remember that very classic TV show. And I will have the Mom Walton, Michael Learned, and the two daughters. And so it's going to be a lot of fun. And I have to sign off. So I am going to be interviewing someone very soon here. But I absolutely know that you are going to have the best date ever. Sam, what's your final word?
Stay happy and, don't talk about your exes. I'm just kidding.
That's right. All right. It is all about balance. Do with me here. Peace in, peace out. World peace through inner peace. Now go have the best day ever. Tomorrow we're going to replay one of Sam and I's shows as I go through that emergency surgery. But we'll be back Monday with Life Balance Coaching and Dr. Marissa here on KCAA, NBC News Radio, the station that leaves no listener behind.